Yes, guys, we're here. We're back. You guys already know what it is. I feel like I literally just took like a 10-minute break after the last stream ended. And now I'm back already. First and foremost, big up to everyone in the chat. You guys already know what it is. Be sure to hit the like button on your way in. We're switching it up today. We're switching it up tonight. We're doing a late night stream. 10 p.m. here in the UK. Let me know what time it is where you lot are watching from. And we're going to do a nice interactive session. We're going to do a nice little interactive session ranking United players so far this season in a little tier list. I'm going to share the tier list in a moment on the screen. And what we're going to do is we're going to go through each player, and we're just gonna basically try and understand where should we put them in the tier list. We're gonna see where we actually put a majority of the players. I will be real. The tier list is like this. The tier list is untouchable, which I think is kind of like a wild description, but each to their own. So it's untouchable, good, could improve, not good enough, bad, no comment. So it's 7 categories. It's 7 categories. And I will be really, really honest with you. I don't think anyone is making it to that untouchable category. That's the top of the top, the cream of the crop, if you want to call it that. I don't see anybody reaching to that category because I don't think anybody this season has been untouchable. Yes, even Kobe Mainoo, I don't think he's going to make that. Of course, we're going to talk. Let's start with the most recent news suggesting that Dan Ashworth could become the newest director of Manchester United, who could be looked to be lured away from Newcastle. Now, the reason why I'm taking this news with a pinch of salt, I'm taking it with a pinch of salt, if you want to call it that, because I just feel like since Ineos have taken over, or even during the process of Ineos taking over, I don't think there was any journalist that knew anything of what was happening. Whether it was Ineos set to win the race, whether it was set for them to be announced, whether it was when they were about to announce Umar Barada, I don't feel like any journalist really knew anything. So I'm taking all this news with a pinch of salt because I feel like real G's move in silence like lasagna. Word to Lil Wayne. I feel like if Ineos are doing stuff, if Ineos are cooking anything, then they are going to be doing it on the low. And I think it's going to be a situation where Manchester United are just going to go about their business quietly and do the work and then announce it. Similar to Umar Barada. Listen, when it was kind of leaked that was happening, within the hour, or within 2 hours, I think it was, there was an official statement from Manchester United to say that he has joined in a new role as a CEO at the club. So just for that reason, and for the reason that even when Ineos were set to win the race, it wasn't really out there like that. A lot of journalists were acting like they knew what was happening. I remember one journalist a week before saying that Qatar were favourites to win it. 1 week before. So I don't think anyone really knows much. And if Ineos are real, I'll be very honest. If Ineos are really, truly committed to changing the culture of the club and changing the first thing that they have to do, or one of the things that they have to do when it comes to changing the culture of the club, is the whole leaks nonsense. If this is really legit and it's actually kind of gotten out there and it's real news, then I got to look at them a bit like, what are you lot doing? Because unless they're selling it to their journalists, I mean, I'm sure every establishment will have their trusted circle of journalists, which is why this could be the case. But I'm taking this with a pinch of salt because we've seen a lot of names flying around over the last couple months regarding a director of football, regarding a sporting director, whatever you want to call it. We've seen bare names flying around. So for that reason, I'm going to take it with a pinch of salt, and I'm not gonna get too hyped about it. If it's Dan Ashworth, then it's Dan Ashworth. If it's someone else, then it's someone else. That's simply it. But back to the purpose of this video, guys. We are going to do, like I said, we're gonna rank players this season so far. This is solely based on Manchester United this season. That's it. We're not going to talk about last season, so no player can have credit in the bank from last season. None of that stuff. We are just doing this season based on since August to now, because we're basically just past the halfway mark of the season. And like I said, I want to hear everybody's thoughts, especially, like I said, there might be players that I put in places where you lot might not agree with me. I'm just getting ready to do it now. Let me pull it up on my screen so we can just get straight to it. Let's get straight into it. I feel like a fob trying to use this. Let me know. You lot should be able to see my screen. I've got ads popping up on the side because I don't have an ad blocker, if that's what it's called. I ain't got an ad blocker, but this is what this is what it's looking like, guys. This is what it's looking like. We're gonna do the tier system like this, and we're gonna start with, and like I said, it's untouchable to no comment. No comment means crap, dead, absolutely abysmal. Yeah, I will be real. It might be a bit harsh to put anyone in there. I don't know if you don't want me to be honest or if you guys want me to be harsh, but I personally, I think it's a bit harsh to put anyone in no comment. Equally so, I don't think anyone's been good enough for me to put them in untouchable. So it's likely that those two categories we will not be using. We will not be using. So this is how we're going to do it. Should we do it? Should we do it by tier, or should we do it by player? We could do it tier by tier, where we look at the bad tier, and we just look at everybody in. Excuse me. We look at everybody below, and we decide who we put in bad. Or do we do player by player? I say we do player by player. I think that that's the best way. Player by player. Let's do it player by player. We're gonna start with. Let's start with. Is this Kobe Mino? This is Kobe Mino. Let's start with Kobe Mino. It's not Mino. Let's start with Kobe Mino. It's only right he's actually the first player because he might go up. He might go up the furthest. I think I might put him. He might. I might put him in. Should I put? You see, because I want to put him in. Could improve because I still feel like there's one or two things he could improve on. But if and it's unfair for me to put him in good because he's played since what, November? Untouchable. Fabio's saying untouchable. Cabs is saying untouchable. Ridwan's saying good. I don't think there's anyone that should be in untouchable, just because we've had such a crap season, guys. Like, I feel like putting people in untouched. But then again, the argument could be had that he is undroppable because when he gets dropped or he's taken out of the team, we do feel it. We do feel it. So I'll agree with you lot. I will put Cobbs. In untouchable. I don't know why I'm calling him Cobbs. I'll put him in untouchable. Who's next? Brother, I cannot. I'm so blind, guys. My eyesight is so bad. Wallahi, I can't see these pictures properly. I should really sort out my eyesight. Who the hell is this brother? Who the fuck is this guy? Who the fuck is this guy? Let's go with Luke Shaw. It looks like Regulon, but also I didn't think that was Regulon. It is Regulon. It is Regulon. It is Regulon. It just looks so different. He looks so different. I don't know why his head looks a bit more square. Regulon for me, I want to put him in no comment. He had his loan spell terminated. He was, maybe he's not good enough. That's why he's got his loan spell terminated. Till today, I don't know why his loan spell got. I don't know why he got sent back. And then he actually had an assist on the weekend for Brentford. United doesn't make any sense to me sometimes. I genuinely think United just don't make any sense to me sometimes. I think I'm going to put Regulon in the not good enough part. Just because we brought him on a loan signing and he got sent back in January. And even before he wasn't sent back, he was barely playing for United. So for that reason, I'm going to put him in not good enough. And Blue says he was good when he was here. I don't think he was that good because he barely played. I mean, he did play, but it was very inconsistent. And also, one thing that is weird about him going back in January is that United need a left back right now. We got no Malacia. Luke Shaw could be out injured. I'm not too sure what's happening with that, but Luke Shaw could be out injured. We have to play Lindelof or Amrabat at left back, or probably play Dallo at left back and play Wan-Bissaka at right back. I don't even know. I don't know what Erik ten Hag is going to do. So that was a loan signing for me that just never made any sort of sense. It made no sort of sense. Next up is Luke Shaw, because I'm Blue just says better than Shaw recently. Luke Shaw is next up. I want to say could improve. But I don't know if this is me being too nice to players. Am I being too nice? Cab says Luke Shaw good, my favorite player. I ain't never heard anyone in my life say Luke Shaw is their favorite player. That is definitely a first. I think it could improve. I think his biggest issue right now is his fitness. Right now. or his ability to stay fit, if you want to say it like that. It's his ability to stay fit. And if United are really going to, if Ten Hag is really going to have a shot at building a system in this team and, you know, having a consistent starting 11, Luke Shaw will either have to be a part of it or Luke Shaw will have to go. It's one or the other. I don't think in an ideal world where Eric Ten Hag will be the manager and it's the Eric Ten Hag way of football. He wants his regular 11. He wants his 14-man kind of squad that he relies on regularly. It's either Luke Shaw stays fit and is consistently United's left back, or Luke Shaw is going to get put in a split. He has to get sold. It's one or the other. But just for this season, I think maybe could improve. Put him in good Mina. Cabs, you just told me he's your favorite player. So I don't know if I should take your opinion too much. Ridwan says, I agree, could improve. Blue says, yeah, could improve. Fabio says, sure, no comment for me, 10th season. I agree. For me, it could improve. Next up, we got the fan base Marmite. That's what I like to call him. He's the Marmite of the fan base. You either love him or you hate him. He either pisses you off or he impresses you. He either frustrates you or he just makes your day. It's Bruno Fernandes. I don't know where I could put him. I want to put him not good enough, but I don't know if that's me being too harsh on him, because when I talk about Bruno Fernandes, I talk about the standard that he introduced us to. That's the standard if I go off of this standard he introduced us to, big up to Love United, hate the ops. The options are here. I want to zoom in on my screen a little bit just because the ads are pissing me off. And I don't want you lot to see it. Yeah, there you go. This is the categories. The categories are no comment, bad, not good enough, could improve, good, and untouchable. So far, we have Reguilon in not good enough. We got Luke Shaw in could improve. And we've got Kobe in untouchable. But I think we're going to revisit that Kobe one. But for me, is Bruno going to take us to bigger things? That's a great question. And we were having this debate earlier on the Champions League watch along. We're talking about Bruno Fernandes in comparison to Bernardo Silva. I was saying that for me is Bernardo Silva any day of the week against Bruno Fernandes. I think it was Blue that was saying is Bruno Fernandes over Bernardo Silva. And I just thought that for me, the reason why I put Bruno in the not good enough category, and this is just based on this season, by the way, it's not based off their time at United, this is based on this season. The reason why I would put Bruno in the not good enough, because I feel like the season that he's been having in comparison to the seasons that he's had in the last couple of years, especially his first 2 seasons at United, they are miles apart. So for that reason, I say it's not good enough. But also, I feel like you look at this season and you look at the big difference in how United play when he plays. Listen, let's be real, guys. When Bruno has a 10 out of 10 game, United have a 10 out of 10 game. It's as simple as that. When Bruno plays phenomenally, Manchester United capitalize on that, and United play well. United play good. Bruno, unfortunately, it kills me to say this sometimes, by the way, but Bruno playing good brings out the better in a lot of other people. But when Bruno stinks, he stinks. And we've seen it time and time again this season. I think about this season, I can think of a few good games he's had. I can definitely name a few games. But I think when you look at the entire kind of season as a whole, it's not it. And for that reason, I would put him in not good enough. But I want to hear what you lot say before we kind of make a decision. He already has Europa League, second in PL and Carabao Cup. Second is not a trophy. Bruno needs to be on the same level as KDB, and he isn't, so not good enough. I hear it. That's straight to it. He could improve for sure. Fabio says can't control one single game. I think next season we might see the best Bruno, inshallah. The pressure's getting to him. I said this, to be honest. I said this last season. I said if Bruno does not fix up, United might have to cash in on him soon. If Bruno does not fix up, United might just have to cash in on him. And when I say United have to cash in on him, I mean sell him, obviously, and recoup some of that transfer fee. Because Bruno's not getting any younger. Yeah, Bruno Fernandes is not getting any younger. I'll be honest. And you think about how he's doing in the last, maybe under Eric Ten Hag, how Bruno has been in comparison to his first 2 seasons at United. I think, I will be real, guys, I'll be so honest, I think we might have seen the best of Bruno in a United shirt. I think we might have seen the best of him. And I don't mean that in a bad way, unfortunately, but I just mean that that system that he worked in under Oli, it was that counter-attacking, free football. He could do what you want. Right now, when you try to give him discipline, you try to give him control, he's a bit erratic. So sometimes he can do it, sometimes he can't. I mentioned this earlier on the stream, but there was a passage of play from United against Villa, which he was part of. But in any other day, that could have either been a good pass that he played out to Garnacho, and Garnacho actually ended up killing the counter. But it's either that pass he could have played, or he could have just played a poor pass. And that's the thing with Bruno, is sometimes we don't know what style of football we're getting from him. Game in, game out. Every game comes in. We play against Luton this weekend. You don't know what Bruno you're going to get. Like, we don't know what Bruno we're going to get. And just for me, based off this season, I say not good enough. But maybe it's because of the standards that I might hold him to. And maybe I could say could improve. Maybe could improve is kind of a better one. I think that might be a better one. Big up to everyone. Be sure to hit the like button, guys. If you've just come through, be sure to hit the like button. You can join the membership club. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get your badges, you get emojis, you get your obviously custom member content, and of course, you get to support the growth of the channel. If you want to support the growth of the channel, you can send in super chats with any comments, any questions, any sort of contribution is appreciated, of course, here for the channel. Big up to DJ, says, hey, Mina Wagwan, Bruno will come good for us. I honestly believe it, but Bruno shines when we are clicking. He's a bit exhausted right now. I think if we get him rested for like 2 to 3. I mentioned this as well. I said that Bruno looks tired. But the thing is with Bruno, and I respect him for this, is that the thing with Bruno is that he will give you 100% of what he has to give you at that time. He'll leave it all on the pitch. So sometimes that 100% that he's leaving you and he's given to you is I lost my train of thought. The 100% that he's given to you, sometimes it's not good enough, because it's not 100% of everything he has to give. It might be 30%, it might be 40%. He looks exhausted sometimes on the pitch. But Bruno doesn't strike me as the kind of player. He wants to be a captain by example, so he'll never ask to come off. He'll never say he's tired. He will just persevere. And sometimes that could actually damage the team, in my opinion, than anything else. I think it does more harm than good. You're not putting Bruno in the same category as Reguilon. Mina, the untouchable should be green, not red. I didn't, bro. This is I didn't do this like this. Shit. I just accidentally did something. It's a website. Sorry, guys. My bad. It's not me. It's the website. But okay, I'm gonna put Bruno in could improve. I'm gonna put him in could improve. I feel like we need to revisit this Kobe one, so I'm gonna take Kobe out for now. We're gonna come back to Kobe because I think the court is still out. The jury is still out on that one. But next up is none other than Manchester United's number 9. Should we sing the chant one more time? Because this is probably the last time I'll ever hear it. Tony Marshall came from France. English press said he had no chance. 50 million down the drain. Tony Marshall scores again. Tony Marshall, I think no comment. I genuinely, I'm gonna put him there for no comment, but we're gonna talk about it. This is so rude. This is so rude. Oh my days. He said untouchable, he'll break. I think no comment, and I'm glad you lot in the chat are saying no comment. Imran says add 1 column for sell. I should add 1 column for sell. Okay, all right. Maybe that one doesn't even require a long conversation. That one might not even require a long conversation, you know. But next up. Oh, DJ says, I know DJ is a Martial fan as well. DJ says Martial did a graveyard shift for 4 years. So sad, injuries hampered his run under Erik ten Hag. He did do an interview about this. If you guys remember, he did an interview last year, September. So this was just after Ten Hag came in. He did an interview. He was on international duty with France, very rare occurrence, but he was on international duty with France. He did an interview and he spoke about his struggles with injuries. And in particular, he threw a lot of shade at Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he spoke about how he played through injections a lot under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He said he wasn't the only one that did that, but he said he played through it because the manager would always come to him and say that he needs him. And he said he didn't want to let the manager down. And then he went on to say that when the media started getting onto him and people started criticizing him, he was upset that the manager never came out to defend him and say that, he's a good sport and, he played through injury for me. And he basically felt like the manager turned his back on him. Unfortunately, there's a lot of players from that Man United team under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that have turned to shits. I couldn't tell you one person that you look at Paul Pogba, you look at Anthony Martial. I'm trying to think of names. Herrera went to PSG. I don't know why he thought he was PSG caliber, but he went to PSG. I don't know, where is he now? Is he at Athletic? Is he at Athletic or something? I don't even know where he is. But Herrera, Lingard, Pereira's doing okay at Fulham. I wouldn't say he's doing amazing, but he's doing all right. But unfortunately, Martial is just on that long list of players under that manager or under that time at Manchester United that have just is not cutting it. It's just not cutting it. But I think there's no need to debate where he belongs. Guys, I can't pronounce. You lot know I got pronunciation problems, and you lot are taking the piss out of the way. Solskjaer, I cannot. Guys, you lot know. All right, let me give you a lot of fun fact. If you don't know this, I grew up with a speech impediment. And I struggle to pronounce certain words that have certain certain letters. And this is me being vulnerable with you guys. So I hope this makes you lot understand more. I grew up with a speech impediment, and I struggled to say words that have the letter SH in it together. And as an adult now, obviously, my speech has improved, but sometimes I still struggle to say words that have SH in it. So I hope you all understand that. And I hope that, because listen, my family take the piss out of me all the time, yeah? But they know it. They know when I was in school, my teacher used to keep me back at lunchtime, so that basically we could practice pronouncing stuff. I used to have lunch with my teacher in primary school. So I hope that kind of makes sense. So you guys are laughing at the way that I pronounce Solskjaer's name, but I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best, guys. I'm trying my best. But it's calm. At least you're not a Liverpool or City fan. Exactly. I mean, at least I'm not a Liverpool or City fan. Next one on the list. Oh, this one is going to divide a lot of people. And it's none other than Mr. Belfast himself, Marcus MBE Rashford. I'll put him could improve. I'll put him could improve because actually could improve or not good enough. I think could improve I think that's a bit more lenient. Theo Walcott the second coming. You lot are rude. How are you saying that Theo Walcott the second coming? Theo Walcott was a baller on his days. He ain't been good, but he can be. I agree with that. Not good enough is plausible. For me, it's like could improve because he can come good. But it's just a matter of will he? That's the question. That is the real question in discussion. He's not better than Nani. I love Nani, innit? So I will never dispute that. Nani's one of my favorite players. Rashford could improve. Tualumba says below average. Horrible. Not good enough. Damn, not good enough is winning so far. Could improve is too high. Okay, I'll put him in not good enough. Donny van der Beek, for me, I'm sorry, guys, it's no comment. For me, it's no comment. Just because the bro barely played. Bro barely played. I haven't even watched him at Frankfurt this season. I have not seen him at Oh, Ornstein just posted on Dan Ashworth. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Don't go anywhere. Man United make Dan Ashworth top target for sporting director. Not agreed, and no approach to Newcastle yet, but anticipated and situation expected to develop rapidly. Complicated by being contracted to Newcastle United FC, but the 52-year-old said to be open to the move. It's so funny, guys, because just before I went live here, I was reading a post that basically it was by a journalist at the Daily Mail, I think, and they said that basically Dan Ashworth reportedly is disappointed about these rumors about him being open to a move to Manchester United because he's committed to his job at Newcastle. But you know, when David Ornstein tweets the David Ornstein bomb, that is legit news. This here is legit news if it's coming from David Ornstein. And I was saying it to you lot just when the stream starts. When the stream started, I said, if it's coming from anyone but Ornstein, I am not listening to it. So could it be Dan Ashworth will be the next sporting director of Manchester United? Oof. I don't know. I don't know. Whatever price he got for St. Maximin, maybe he can get that for like Sancho. I don't know. We'll come back to that. But quickly to the topic of Van der Beek. And then obviously at the end of the stream, we'll talk a bit more about Dan Ashworth. Donny van der Beek for me is no comment, because if I'm putting Martial there, then I have to put Donny van der Beek there, because brother barely played. Why am I hearing sirens at this time of the night? Put the word out there. We back. Mason Mount. Another one for me is just no comment. For me, that's no comment. How much games has Mason Mount? How many games has Mason Mount played for us in all the entire season? Because I'm looking at his injury list. 16 games he's missed so far. Another 6. That's 22 games he's missed for us so far in the season. That is poor. That is so bad. He's played 12 games in all competitions for us so far, and he's got 1 assist. 12 games and 1 assist. He played 8. But to be honest, that I personally feel kind of overstates it because of the number of minutes. He's actually defo played 4 Prem games. He played 8 Premier League games. He's played 8 Prem games, but it's just about the number of minutes. He hasn't played a full 90 in the Prem at all. He's not played 1 full 90. He's played 68 minutes against Wolves. He played 85 minutes against Tottenham, 77 against Palace, 63 against Brentford, 2 against Sheffield, 45 against City, 11 against Fulham, and then 50 against Luton. And we have not seen him since that Luton game. So he actually he played 2 games, got injured. He missed 4 games, came back. He played 6 games and has been injured ever since. Champions League, he played 6 minutes against Copenhagen and 85 against Galatasaray. He played 1 starting 11. He played 1 full 11, sorry. And that was against Newcastle when we got knocked out of the Carabao Cup. Are you guys having ads on the stream? My bad. I didn't even realize. Let me double check that. That should be all done. That should be all done. I don't want to ruin it. I don't want to ruin the stream. So for that reason, for me, guys, I'm gonna put him bad, but because I think he's a bad signing. That's why. I think he's a bad signing. And I think for that reason, he should be in the bad. But if you lot feel like he should go in the no comment section, do you feel, Dan says can improve. He came here to be our Deli Ali. That is not, come on, guys. Ridwan says bad, just bad. I think that's deserved for him to be there. I think that's deserved for him to be there. So far, this list ain't looking good. Victor Lindelof. For me, I want to say not good enough. I don't think he's good enough. I don't rate Lindelof like that. I think in the past, I feel like we've used our credit on him enough that when he plays well, I don't think he's good. That's it. I just don't think he could. I don't want to say could improve because I don't want United to keep him. Obviously, we're keeping him for 1 more season. But I think there's better out there than Victor Lindelof. Could he come good in kind of being a bench player? Could he be a good option there? I don't know, man. I don't know. But you lot are rating him even worse than I am. You lot are rating him even worse than I am. Not good. Finished. Lindelof just bad. Below, no comment. Guys, can I just say, this is based on this season. This is based on this season. I'm not basing anything. When I talk about Martial, when I put Luke Shaw wherever, I'm not basing them off of their time at United. I am basing them off of this season. The title is rating Man United players so far this season. Yeah, just keep that in mind. You mentioned Lindelof twice or 3 times, and Blue Dabba pops up out of nowhere. I'm going to keep Lindy there. Scott McTominay is the next one, and some people like to call him the Scottish Kaka. If I'm going off of this season, yeah, I will be so honest with you. If I'm going off of this season, I'm putting him in the good category. If I'm going off of this season, I'm not going off of his ability. I'm going off of the season that he's had and the important goals that he scored for Manchester United. Single-handedly, gained Manchester United 10 or 11 points? I cannot put him anything lower than good. I cannot, and I hope you lot don't think I'm being biased. But I genuinely think, and I say this all the time, without United, or without, Scott McTominay, United could have been low in the table. We could have been in the bottom half of the table. United could be in the bottom half of the table. Oh my God, I can change the colors. Look at that. Look at me changing the colors. Good. I'll make this red. There you go. I make that red. I make that another shade of red. Somebody was pointing out that the colors were the wrong way. There you go, guys. That's better, right? I'll make this orange, and then I'll make this yellow, like a traffic light system. Come on, guys. That looks better. Yeah, that looks way better. So Scott McTominay in the good. I think we could go that. We'll go with that. Martial has a better goal contribution than Mason Mount, and I think in a lot less minutes. Are you saying that for that reason Mason Mount and Martial should be on the same level if I'm doing that? Because I don't know. I feel like we're gonna come back, guys. Let's do this, and then when we finish it, we'll come back and look at it as a whole. Next up, Andre Onana for me could improve. I think he's got something good there. I think we've got something good in him. I think the season has shown it's been a season of ups and downs for Andre Onana. He's had highs, but when he's had lows, he's had some serious lows. So for that reason, I'm saying could improve. And he should improve, and he maybe will improve. Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit. Facts. This kind of sums up Andre Onana. Andre Onana is kind of like Bruno. Like every game, you don't know what Onana you're getting. You might get the good one, you might get the shit one. You might get the guy with the Weetabix hands. You might get the guy with the good distribution. You might get the sweeper keeper. You might get the guy that doesn't dive properly. You might get the guy that doesn't parry it away properly, or you might get the guy that's standing on business, and he is there to be a number one goalkeeper. Sometimes with Andre Onana, I think you just don't know what you're going to get. But based off this season, I'm going to say could improve. Jadon Sancho, for me, no comment. For me, I think there's some things that are undebatable, if you want to say. I think there's some things that are undebatable, and I think I think that is that, and I think Jadon Sancho, we're not even going to dwell on that too much. I don't think is that Tom Heaton. Tom Heaton is another guy I will put Tom Heaton no comment, because we ain't seen him play. Should I make a new should I add a new row? Add a row below barely, and I'm going to say barely. I'm going to add a new row. There you go. And then I'm going to say barely played. No, barely played. And I'm just going to leave that at the bottom, because I feel like it's unfair for me to put Tom Heaton in the same category as Jadon Sancho. I mean, one of them pissed the manager off. Tom Heaton, good legend. Based off of this season, guys. Remember, it's based off of this season. Next up, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Oh, Aaron Wan-Bissaka. This is a difficult one. This is a difficult one for me. I wanna say could improve, but he's been benched. He's been benched. So maybe that is proof that he has to be sold. It's not the first time he's been benched as well. Maybe that has to be not good enough. If I'm putting Victor Lindelof in the not good enough category, then maybe, just maybe, I have to put Aaron Wan-Bissaka. For me, it's between could improve and not good enough. It's between could improve and not good enough. I don't know which one I'm leaning towards. Let me see what the chat is saying. We need a new right back. Could improve Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Ridwan says the opposite. He says not good enough. I don't know where to put Wan-Bissaka. Maybe I'll come back to him. Maybe we'll come back to Wan-Bissaka. Diogo Dalot for me, no brainer. I'll put him in good. Player of the season so far for me. Probably the most impressive, especially this run of wins that United have had. I think I would say that Dalot for me has been the biggest standout. Dalot for me has been the biggest standout in all of that. Add another column, khalas. We got 7 columns already. How many more columns we gonna need? We got 7 columns already, just like that. How many more columns we gonna need? That's what I need to know. Don't you dare put Lindy in not good enough. He carried us when all of our centre backs were injured. Again, guys, let your emotions go to the side. Put your emotions to the side, because this is based off of this season. Yeah? Again, read the title of the video down there or up here, wherever it is that you lot can see it. Read the title of the video. This is based on this season. Maybe I'll do another video if you guys want to see. Maybe I'll do another video where we rank players based on their time at United. If that's a video you don't want to see, then smash the hell out of this like button. And I will do that live stream, and I'll make it again as interactive as possible. Because like I said, I enjoy the interactive kind of streams. So if you guys want to see that, we'll do that. We will absolutely do that. I'll gladly do that. But who was next up? Yeah, Dalot for me was next up. I put Dalot in good, and I don't think that's kind of debatable. I don't think there's really much to debate. I'm never gonna put my emotions aside when I see Lindy. I'm blue dabba dabba. If you lot don't know, we'll ride out for Lindelof every single time. Like, if you say, you might not see I'm blue in the chat the whole time, but the second someone mentions Lindelof, pops up out of somewhere. Let's see who is next. Next up for me, Lisandro Martinez. I don't know where to put Lisandro Martinez. Barely played. He played how many games so far? But it's unfair that I'm putting him and Mason Mount have played probably the same number of games. Him and Mason Mount have probably played the same number of games. Guys, I got to put my emotions and attachment to players aside. I can't be biased with Lisandro Martinez. I could put him in good because the games that he's played, he's been good. The games he's played this season, he's been good. And I think he's been the biggest key difference maker. Are you lot saying that the games that Lisandro Martinez has played, that he is, he's been untouchable? Like, is that what you lot are saying? That the games that he's played, he's legit been untouchable? Is that what you lot are saying to me right now? Is that what you lot are saying to me right now? Because if that's the hill that we're about to die on, if that's the hill that we're gonna have to die on, then I hear it. Although I do feel like it's a bit biased. His injuries haven't been on him. That's true. Yeah, you lot are saying he's still untouchable. He's untouchable. We have seen a good full season of Lisandro, our best defender. He was good when he played. A lot of Premier League mids would trade their height for his passing. Cool. He's the first one to make it to untouchable. Tyrell Malacia, I guess we put him in the barely played because the brother ain't played at all. I have not played him. I ain't seen him play, at all season. He's actually, I think, the only United player that probably has not played again. You know what? It's funny. Him and Ahmad could finish the season with the same number of appearances. Do you know how funny that could possibly be? That could be Hilarious. I'll put Malacia there because he's been out for most of the season. Next up, Johnny Evans. John Joe. Man like John Joe in the building. I want to put him in good, but I'm scared that you guys might just stop watching the video. Malacia got a nice smile. Put him in untouchable. I'm not putting Malacia in untouchable. I'm not putting him. We've barely seen him play. We've not seen him play all season. I want to put Johnny Evans in. I can't put him in. Could improve. I might put him in. Should I put him in good? Is it bad for me to say good? I feel like when he's played, he's been immense. Anfield, immense. Every time he's come in, I think he's been pretty good. Even when we were talking about players of the season, how's he going to improve at his age? Though he's not going to improve at his age. That's the thing. He's not going to improve. But he can, if he stays on this consistency of like this level of consistent performances, I think that's pretty decent. I think that could be pretty well. Who's next? Hannibal Mejbri. Hannibal Mejbri shipped out on loan. He played a few games this season. Evans should be no comment. You think so? Cab says Johnny Evans good. Mina, that's not right. Evans should be no comment. Do you really? Am I being nice by putting him in good? I think this season he's been good. I actually think this season he's been pretty good. He's been pretty decent, especially when he's played. Hannibal for me, I think he's not good enough. Hannibal scored a goal. He scored our one goal. I think it was that Burnley or Luton? It was a game where we won 1-0. I think no, it was a game where we lost. I think it was Brighton. He scored. It was Brighton game. He scored. For me, him going out on loan has kind of just proved that the manager don't think he's good enough. I think, but then I'm looking at the people I've put in not good enough. I'm gonna put Rashford could improve. I'm gonna put Rashford there, but we're gonna come back to that. We're gonna put that. We're gonna come back to that. Next up, Anthony. Anthony for me goes to bad. For me, Anthony goes to bad because I forget even not being good enough. I think he just sucks. I just think he sucks. I think his decision making is poor. I think his ability on the ball is not that great. I think as a winger, he's just atrocious. He's so one-footed, one-dimensional that for me, that is probably the biggest flaw out of it all. I think that's the biggest flaw out of it all is his one-footedness. But then I'm looking at me putting Mason Mount in bad. And that's harsh. I can't put him and Anthony in the same category. He's played 400 minutes. That's still, maybe I could put him in not good enough. Maybe I can put Mount in not good enough. Anthony, you say this season he's a no comment. He's a no comment. I don't think so. I think this season I've seen even more that he's just not good enough to play in the team. Like he's just bad. Like that's it. Shola Shortire. I don't even know why he's here, bro. I'm pretty sure that guy went out alone. Is this Kovar in goal? Because if that is Kovar, then he has to go. I don't know who that is. That's not even Kovar. Who is that? Mina, you need a khalas column. It'll be easier. Honestly, I could just bury these guys in khalas. I could put them all in khalas. Pelestri. Facundo Pelestri. Facundo Pelestri. Facundo Pelestri. I want to put him in the not good enough. And the reason why I think he's not good enough is that I think the manager just has no plans for him. I think the manager's got no plans for him, unfortunately. So that means this season he's just not been good enough. It's as simple as that. Whether I think he can play good or not, that's kind of like a different thing. I think that's a different kind of question or topic, if you want to say. But overall, I think it's safe to say that he is just not good enough. Facundo cooked against Barcelona, but not at Old Trafford. Who's next? Alejandro Garnacho. Alejandro Garnacho. This is going to be one that could go in the good or could improve. Because I still think he has a lot to learn. I still think Garnacho. This is I think this might be the most difficult one for me because I think he's been good this season, but a part of me still thinks he could improve. But when I look at the people who are in the could improve list, I think he shouldn't be there because he's had a bad season at some points in the season, but definitely over the last couple of months, he's improved a lot more. He's improved, and I think him at right wing is the answer. I don't think him at left wing is that good. I think him at right wing is the way forward. So for that reason, for now, I put him in good, but we might move that. Could improve. He's better looking to provide services, and he's also improving in that ability in terms of like creating chances. Could improve or good. Excuse me. New position at right wing. Garnacho good. Ridwan says Garnacho. Exactly that. MUFC 14 says Mount and Trashy should get demoted, not promoted. Basically saying Mount needs to go down. Mount is already on not good enough. I feel like his season's not been good enough. You take into account the appearances he's made and the impact he's had in those appearances, and then you take into consideration the injuries kind of impacting his season. But he's saying both of them should be demoted. I think Rashford could improve. He's still got a good 4 months, 3.5 months left of the season. He's still got about 3 months or so left of the season. So I think there's more room for improvement in Rashford's season probably than there is in Mason Mount's. Amad Diallo, free Amad Diallo. Free Amad Diallo. I don't know what Ten Hag has to see in Amad Diallo. I spoke about this earlier, but there is a video on Man United's YouTube channel that they posted today from a training session, and Amad Diallo is miles ahead of those wingers that were taking part in those drills. Easily for me, I watched that and thought he needs to get some playing time. And it's unfortunate that he's in this list in the barely played, because I think for me, he could definitely be a bit more, he could be a more useful resource than certain other people. Rasmus Højlund. Oh, where should we put Rasmus Højlund? Put him, well, the way that he started the season could improve. I think I'll put Rasmus Højlund good. If I put Garnacho in good, I'll put Rasmus Højlund in good. He's definitely had an improvement over the last month and a bit. Could he improve more? Could he improve more on the last month he's had? No, he just needs to continue doing that. Can he improve on the way that his season has been? Yes. So yeah, I'm going to keep him at good because I feel like if we put Garnacho in good, then I think it's only fair that we put Rasmus Højlund there. We're nearly at the end. Casemiro, good. Based on the season. But then again, I feel like when Casemiro's played, he's been untouchable. I think if we put Lisandro Martinez there, who's missed a bit of games because of injury, if we put Lisandro there, then it's only fair to put Cas there. I think it's only fair to put him there, because when Casemiro, like on the weekend, the Villa game, Casemiro I think was one of our players of the game, even though he got booked so early into the game. He just quietly went about his business in the game. But nah, I can't put him untouchable. I have to put him in good. Just because I feel like when, if I think about it, Man United's midfield, just in general in games, we're not good enough. So for you to be untouchable, we have to have the best midfield. So I think for the season he's had, I'll say good. But given the fact that he's missed a bit of the season as well. Christian Eriksen is an interesting one because I feel like I've not seen a lot of Christian Eriksen this season. I feel like we ain't seen much of Christian Eriksen's involvement. I don't think we've seen enough of him taking part in the game. He's played a bit, came back from injury. Could improve. Could he? No. United could improve in his position. Like we could get an upgrade. What's noticing he lost his legs. You lot are saying could improve, not good enough. I think could improve. I think could improve, but it's one of them ones where I look at next season. Do you see Eriksen being a part of our season next year? I don't think so. Raphael Varane, for me, I want to say untouchable, bro. I want to say Raphael Varane is untouchable just because every game he's played, he has been immense. Every game he's played, he has been immense. So for that reason, I want to put Raphael Varane there, but I don't want to be biased. So please talk me out of my biasness, if you want to say that. He could be in good, he could be an untouchable, but you're not really untouchable if the team is looking to sell you, if the club is looking to sell you. MUFC 14 says could improve at best. That's harsh. That's a bit harsh, bro. That's a bit harsh. Varane is good, says Riri. Varane is finished, Mina. Did you see the mistakes he's done in the Champions League? Varane good. I don't know. Varane good. All right, we'll put him in good. It looks like no one is untouchable. Harry Maguire. Sorry, guys. If Harry Maguire is untouchable this season, I'm honestly, guys, you lot might think I'm mental right now, but Harry Maguire is untouchable this season. If I'm looking at all the people here in the good category, based on Harry Maguire has consistently been good when he's played this season. I'm trying to think of any kind of howlers that he's had throughout the season, but he has been consistently good. So I'm going to give him his flowers. I'm going to give him his flowers where it's due. And Maguire untouchable. I knew someone would laugh. I knew someone would laugh. I knew someone would laugh. You lot have to take your emotions out of this and remember that this is based on this season. Abe says good. Him doing good is good for the team. Can't lie. Yeah, facts. When he's doing good, he's doing good. That's the thing. I can't put Varane in good. I can't put all these guys in good and put Maguire in good. I'll put him in good for now. That means this got to get chopped down a bit, guys. This got to get chopped down a bit. This got to get chopped down again a bit. Højlund, Garnacho, Meno are incredible talents. Maguire has been that guy, though. United would be brilliant if they finished top 4 with the circumstances at the club this season. Really? And you put Lindy in not good enough? Listen, in this case, I got to take Varane out because this ain't making sense, guys. It's not making. Excuse me. This is not making sense. How Maguire has had probably the best performances out of all of our centre backs this season. He's had the best season so far in terms of individual performance, and I'm putting him in the same category as Varane. I'm putting him in the same category as Rasmus Højlund, Garnacho, etc. But we're nearly at the end. Sufyan Amrabat. This is going to pain me, guys. This is going to pain me. Not good enough. Sufyan Amrabat, it pains me to put him there. Not good enough because you lot know how much I was hyping up that transfer. You lot know during the transfer window how much I was saying United need to get Amrabat. They need to get him. But his time at United, unfortunately, has just shown us maybe he's good. Maybe he's good, but he's not good enough for what it is that United want to do. And that's when I'm thinking about that. That's how I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it like that. Do you think they'll go for a permanent deal? Nah, they already said that that they will not be going. They already said that they will not be signing him on a permanent. We've got 2 more to get through, and then we can look at the tier list as a whole. Aaron Wan-Bissaka could improve or not good enough. It's one of those. It's could improve or not good enough. I want to say could improve. He could still. When was this said? It was a reporter reported it during the January transfer window. I can't remember exactly who. Let me double check. just so I could get it for verbatim. Sufyan Amrabat permanent. So Goal report. I'm reading an article on Goal, but Sky reported it. The Metro reported it on the 20th of December, saying United will turn down the chance to make Sufyan's loan move permanent. Daily Mail reported it. Sky Sports reported it. A lot of people reported it. But Aaron Wan-Bissaka is, for me, could improve. Wan-Bissaka could improve. All right, yeah. So could improve is pretty much the general consensus. And last but definitely not least, because I felt like I didn't want to hype him up too much, is Kobbie Mainoo. Now, this is what the tier list is looking like at the moment. I do think we need to chop it up a little bit. I feel like we need to chop it up a little bit. I feel like I'm looking at the bad. I'm looking at the no comment. I'm looking at the good. And I'm thinking there's too many people in that good list. But obviously, guys, like I said in the stream, this is based on this season only. No one's got credit in the bank from last season. No one's got credit in the bank from last season. This is only based on this season and their performances throughout the season. And that's why you're probably wondering, why the hell is Harry Maguire in the good section? Because I'm basing it off of, he had a man of the match performance last season. He actually has had quite a few man of the match performances this season. He's actually had quite a few great performances. And I know a lot of people don't want to say that, but we gotta call it what it is. We gotta call it what it is. And I'm trying to put the bias aside. I'm trying to put the recency of bias aside. I'm trying to put any sort of dislike that I don't like for players. I'm trying to put that all aside. So I'm trying to just look at it as from a bird's eye view and just be as objective as possible, if you want to say it that. So Kobbie Mainoo for me, I don't want to say good, and I don't want to say untouchable. I don't want to say good, and I don't want to say untouchable. Because I still feel like as time goes on, Kobbie will learn a lot. I feel like Kobbie's still learning time and time again. But based on this season, I think good. I think good is where to put him. But I'm just looking at it and I'm thinking there's quite a few people that this tier list is quite flattering towards. So let's just look at it one more time. Anyone on the barely played list just means that they haven't really played this season. And to be fair, I should put Donny van der Beek there, because Donny van der Beek ain't really played this season. The no comment section for me, I think we should get rid of the no comment section. I think I'm gonna get rid of the no comment section. I'm gonna put Donny van der Beek in barely played. I'm gonna put Sancho in barely played, and Martial I'm gonna put in that section just for now. And I'm gonna delete that row. And this will kind of allow us to chop it up a little bit. This will allow us to chop it down just a little bit more. Some of these rankings are criminal, Mina. If you do not agree, tell me what you don't agree with in the chat. And if it's debatable, we'll debate it. If it's debatable, we'll debate it. Big up to Joe, says, big up, Mina. Great ranking. I appreciate it. Cab says, anytime Luke Shaw plays for Man United, we win games. So you don't agree with Luke Shaw is? Do you not agree with what this is just based on this season? This is, remember that, guys. I'm not going off of the entirety of their careers at Manchester United. Like, if we were to, I think Luke Shaw is a great defender, and I think his time at United has been pretty good. But if I'm going off of this season, you have to take into consideration things like, and I know you're going to say it's out of their control, but things as availability. Things such as injuries, you have to take into consideration that sort of stuff. I do feel like this is a bit of a flattering. I feel like this is a bit of a flattering ranking on some players. I honestly think it's a bit flattering on some players. But for me, maybe I might, and I want to put Lindelof in the could improve section. I'm going to put Lindelof in the could improve, because he could improve throughout the rest of the season, especially because he might play a lot more. I think he will play a bit more throughout the season, especially because, you know, we need We need rotation. Oh, you want me to switch it up a little bit? Let me move it up. There you go. Anthony, rock bottom, which I don't know if anybody disagrees with that. The good section for me is McTominay, Diogo Dalot, Johnny Evans, Alejandro Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund, Casemiro, Raphael Varane, Harry Maguire, I was about to say Maguire, Harry Maguire, and Kobbie Mainoo. I don't know. I feel like it's actually when I've just looked at everybody in that list, I'm putting Kobbie in untouchable. I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I'm looking at that list and I'm thinking, yeah, I ain't putting Kobbie Mainoo in the same category this season as Raphael Varane, as Casemiro, as Rasmus Højlund, who didn't get his first Premier League goal till December, as Johnny Evans, who was meant to just be a rotational player, as Scott McTominay, who we were complaining about throughout half of the season, and then obviously started scoring. I'm putting Kobbie, I'm putting Kobbie in the untouchable section. I'm putting him there, and you can't stop me. There's too many on the good section. Why? Because Man United haven't been good enough overall. So you're saying that we need to chop it up a little bit? Are you saying that we need to chop up the good section? All right, let's do that. Let's chop. Should we do a tier called decent? So good, decent, and then could improve. Does that make it better? I think that might make it, because I think it's even having good or could improve is just there's a big gap between that. I feel like there's a big gap between that. He has been that good, but I was just trying to be cautious with Kobbie. I ain't being cautious. No, let's be shameless with him. But I think I might add a rank between good and could improve. Add a row below. I'm gonna call it decent. I'm gonna call that row decent. And because I feel like that's a big gap. I feel like it's a kind of a big gap between those. So if we've put decent, I could put someone like, Johnny Evans there. Johnny Evans been decent this season. He ain't been amazing. He hasn't been, 10 out of 10, but he hasn't been the worst when called upon. So we can call him decent. I think Raphael, put Khalas. Bro, that's going to be too many categories. We've got 7 categories here right now. We've got 7 categories, and we're nearing the end of finally coming to a tier system. We're coming to a tier system finally. And I just think that good section is just a bit too oversaturated. My aim is to have 3 players there. I think Scott McTominay is a given. I think Diogo Dalot is a given. I will put Rasmus Højlund and Garnacho here because I think they've been, again, decent. I will put Varane there, and I'll put Casemiro there. This might be my tier list. Rashford, decent or below decent. I think Rashford could improve. I think on the season that he's been having, there's so much room for improvement in Marcus Rashford's season. So for that reason, obviously, I've put him there. Rashford is not good enough this season. He's below par this time round. I thought that too, but I thought that it would be a bit harsh to put him there. I thought it would be a bit harsh. Can't imagine Garnacho and Maguire having a conversation. That's so random. I think this could be the tier list, guys. Let's go through the tier list one more time. At the top, untouchable, Lisandro Martinez and Kobbie Mainoo. Good this season so far has been Scott McTominay, Diogo Dalot, and Harry Maguire. Decent has been Johnny Evans, Alejandro Garnacho, Rasmus Højlund, Varane, Casemiro. Could improve Bruno, Luke Shaw, Onana, Rashford, Eriksen, Wan-Bissaka, and Lindelof. I don't know about Lindelof. Now I'm thinking Eriksen, I don't know. Not good enough. Reguilon, Hannibal, Mount. Who's that? Palestri, Amrabat, Martial. And then barely played Heaton, Malacia, Shortire, Kovar, Ahmad, Van der Beek, and Sancho. And just bad is Anthony. 11 goals this season. I think Højlund belongs in good. There's room to debate this. There's definitely room to debate this. Minnow, so who is your player of the year so far? My player of the year, I'll be honest, I'll be real. I think player of the year should just be scrapped this season. But if I have to give it to someone, based on, I don't know. I've been seeing the discourse about Diogo Dalot. I don't know how to feel about that because I think Diogo Dalot has been good. Player of the season, I don't know. I don't know if he'd be player of the season, but that's just like, it's just kind of suggesting that he's been the best out of a difficult season, which is what David De Gea was winning for like 2 years in a row. David De Gea was winning that 2 years in a row. Shouldn't Mount be barely played? He's played 400 minutes. He's played 8 games this season, and we've played how much? We've played 30 something games. So to be honest, he hasn't reached double digits. So I should put Mount in the barely played. I should put Mount there. You're right. We should put Mount in barely played because he's played 8 games out of 30 something. He hasn't even reached double digit games. I'm just thinking, I'm looking at this tier list and I'm thinking this is probably as close I could possibly get it. I feel like this is as close I could possibly get this than anything else right now. I don't know if anybody agrees. I feel like the one thing that everybody will agree on is bad. Having Anthony in the bad category, I haven't seen one person dispute that. I have not seen one person dispute that. Garnacho player of the season. I think the player of the season, to be honest, if it's down to the players to vote, I think it's going to be between Garnacho, Kobe, Højlund, and Dalot. Very harsh on Mount. Well, guys, why am I being harsh on Mount? Why am I being harsh on Mount? I feel like we haven't seen enough of Mount this season to have an opinion on him. It's as simple as that. Like, I think we have not seen enough of him this season to have an opinion on him. Like, we need to put, when we talk about this tier, guys, we need to put emotions aside just for a moment. We need to put emotions aside just for a minute. We need to be like, you know what? I hear it. He's played 8 games in all competitions this season. He's played 8 games in all competitions. One game he played a full 90. I think 3 games he played over 50 minutes. He played over 50 minutes. He's missed 22 games this season. So I think for me to say, but then you kind of look at, actually, I could play devil's advocate right now. And you look at all the players in that barely played list, some of them have actually not played a minute. Tom Heaton, Malacia, Shortire, Kovar, Ahmad, not a minute. Van der Beek played like 30 minutes altogether this season. Jadon Sancho hasn't sniffed the pitch for Manchester United since September. So I think it's harsh of me to put Mount in the not good enough because I don't think we've seen enough of him. Because you look at the likes of the players that are in that category, we've seen enough of them. Reguilon got sent back on his loan spell. What's it called? Amrabat has been on the bench. He's been riding the bench since he came back from AFCON. I even forgot he existed. Martial, I should put him in the not good enough. I should take him out of not good enough and put him in barely played, to be honest, because he's another player that we ain't really seen much of this season. Let's compare minutes between Anthony Martial, transfer market. Let's compare Anthony Martial's minutes this season to Mason Mount. He's played just about more than him. He's actually played a lot, bro. Anthony Martial has played 19 games this season, even though a lot of it is just poverty minutes here and there. He's been out injured since the Bournemouth game on the 9th of December. He's played, I think the most minutes, was that Everton game that he played 84 minutes. I think it's fair where we've put them both. Where we've put Mount and where we've put Martial is fair. I think it's safe to say that is fair. Excuse me. I hope you lot don't disagree with this too much. I do genuinely think that this doing tier lists is always so difficult because you have to try to be rational when you're making your opinions. You kind of have to be take a step back and put the emotions aside and just look at it quite logically. I'm hoping to think that this tier list is as accurate as I possibly can make it. I'll be honest. Obviously, I've had input from you guys. Some of you lot were quite heavy. Some of you lot were quite heavy with your opinions. This is so rude. Oh my god. Oh my god, that is, come on guys. Come on. Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. Marshall Mount Malasia hospital bed sleepover. Don't do that. It's okay. When are we doing it for the female team? We'll do it soon. We will do it soon. The next one we're gonna do. I might take it back old school. And just rate just Manchester United. What I want to do actually is rate Manchester United's signings post Sir Alex Ferguson. I would like to do that. I would like to do. The next one I'm gonna do is rating the managers this season. We're gonna do a tier list for the managers: who's been the best, who's been the worst, who's been in the middle, and then we're gonna start to switch it up. We're gonna do all different types of tier rankings, if you guys want to call it that. But big up to everyone, man. You lot know what it is. It's getting late, guys. It's getting late, and if you do not hit the like button for me being awake at near enough to midnight, then I don't know when you will ever hit the like button. I don't know when you will ever do that. Big up to everyone. I hope you lot enjoyed this little tier system. I hope you enjoyed the different type of content obviously I'm trying to do here to try switch it up a little bit. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. I should be back tomorrow with a stream, God willing. I should be. It's Valentine's Day tomorrow, guys. I'm not saying I got plans, but no, I'm joking. I ain't got plans. I actually got a dinner date with one of my best friends that's in town. So big up to everyone. You guys know what it is. Be sure to hit the like button on your way out. I'll be back tomorrow with probably a late night stream as well. We'll be back on Thursday with another stream. Back on Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The content is just, it keeps coming. You know what it is. Big up to everyone. If you want to stay connected with me, guys, you can. Socials right here. You can find me tweeting on Twitter all the time, posting stuff on Instagram, posting stuff on TikTok, and you can even find me on Twitch, where I'll be back streaming soon, I promise. But big up to everyone. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, night, evening, whatever the time zone is where you are watching. Big up to everyone. Be sure, like I said, to hit your like button on your way out. If you want to join the membership club, you can. It's the pinned comment in the chat. You get badges, you get your emojis, you get your custom member content, and you get to support the growth of the channel, guys. You know what it is. As always, it's your girl, Mina. I'm out. Peace.